Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm playing Petrified chess, where pieces turn to stone when they are captured, not including pawns. My goal is to win 3 games. Let's get started with game number 1. I'm not really sure how the turning to stone mechanism will change gameplay, so I'm just going to start playing this normal and we'll learn things the hard way like we normally do on this channel. We get d4, d5, so far so good. We'll play bishop to f4, normal London system. Nothing really interesting happening. I guess I should keep in mind that whenever I go to trade a piece, it will actually be petrified, even if it's a fair trade. So I guess that means we should fight for space. I'm not really sure if that reasoning is sound or even made a lot of sense when I said it, but I'll see if I can make my point here in a moment. We'll play e3. Okay, we get e6, and I guess this is a good time to make my point. If I would play bishop d3 here, for example, and my opponent captured it, it would be a fair trade. Both of us would lose a bishop, right? Mine would be petrified and his would be off the board. It would be a fair trade, but then I would have a block here on d3, which would probably be very uncomfortable. Okay, he just asked in chat, are you real one? I think he might watch my channel. Let me say, yes, I am. You'll probably be on YouTube. Haha. Okay, let's give it a try, because it might actually be good for defense. So we'll play bishop to d3. Should we get this capture, it might actually be good to have this defensive measure. We get bishop to d6, I'll definitely do it to him. Also, there's a point-based system that I really don't understand. Like we got 5 points for that capture, and I'm not really even sure where to find those point values. But anyways, let's go ahead and castle. Okay, we get rook to g8. It seems he intends to keep the king in the center. We'll play c5. Okay, rook to f8 was probably played a little bit too quickly. We'll go ahead and capture on d5. Get that recapture and knight to c3. I'd love here to break open the center with e4, maybe get rook to e1, since the king is going to be hanging out in the center and there's at least 2 moves before a long castle can happen. We get knight to e4. Should I capture, we'd get another blockade in the center, and actually, my opponent's king might be perfectly fine on e8 here. We'll go ahead and play queen to a5 check, connect the rooks, develop the queen, and we'll see how he responds to this. If we get queen to d7, it'd be interesting to place... Oh, interesting, b5. I was going to say it'd be interesting to place a block on d7, but b5 is super interesting. I can't actually take that because it creates a block there. So I guess I have to move back. Queen back to c2 now. Oh, okay, that's a whole new strategy I didn't even think of. Pawns can't actually be taken without losing material. My opponent says this is going to be easy. I'm like, okay. I'm down to 1:24, so I won't really bother responding to that. But let's play... I don't even know. Let's play knight to e5. Centralize the knight. Maybe we can play f3, e4, rook to e1, something along those lines. Okay, I guess I'll just take. Fair trade again because it creates a petrified block, which is really amusing. Can we get b4 here? Threatens b3, but then I just take it, and that's not actually petrified. So we'll play f3 here. My idea is rook a to e1, e4, run down the king down the middle of the board. We'll go ahead and take with the pawn, which is just a free point. Rook to b8, should he take? That becomes petrified. So e4, we'll continue with the original plan. Okay, we get that capture. I'm going to go ahead and play this first. Actually, no, I can't play that. If I play rook a to e1, we get e3, and I can't actually take it without losing a rook. So we'll recapture. Okay, I got to keep my head on my shoulders. And then maybe we can look for this push in the future, then rook over, then e6, then all those funny ideas. Okay, queen to g5 threatens this, which is quite uncomfortable, so we'll move the rook over right now. And actually, I can advance these pawns without any support, because any piece that tries to capture it becomes petrified. For example, that rook just captured there and just became petrified. So e5 will just go for it. The only issue would be a pawn capturing, in which case I could play like d5, then e6. And this isn't actually a threat because the queen becomes petrified when it captures on d5. So I just push now. I just push for the king, and it seems we're up a rook. We're still tied in points, which... maybe serve as some sort of tiebreaker. I'm really not sure what those points are there for. I know they're bright, and I know they make me feel good when I have a lot of them, but I'm not really sure what their purpose is. Okay, we've evened out on time, and that's a free queen. So, let's play d5 as we previously planned. Okay, we get f6, which means we can take with check. Okay, king to f7, we'll take with check again. And then we'll go ahead and just trade right here, create that block, and then bring my pieces over to give checkmate. Whoa. Promote to a queen? Promotion checkmate. Nice. All right, I have to say GG to my opponent because I feel like he allowed me to promote with checkmate. Oh, he wants a rematch. Let's do it. All right, we get the rematch. We've learned basically that pawns can be basically unsupported unless they're in the face of another pawn. So here d5 doesn't work. unless I want to play the Scandinavian, which would just give away a queen. But we'll play c6. Pawns need to be supported against other pawns, but they don't need to worry about pieces, which I guess means weaknesses don't really exist in this variant. We'll play d5. Okay, we get knight to c3, which means I can take, right? Because this pawn isn't supported by another pawn, so I can take it for free. There's no recapture unless my opponent's willing to lose a knight for a pawn, right? We do get that block in the center. Oh, he does take. Okay, so we do get the block in the center, but we win a free piece, basically. We'll play knight to f6. Maybe we can look for bishop to g4. Sweet, we'll play bishop to g4. This guarantees a fair trade, which is pretty much what I want. We'll go ahead and take, create that petrified block. Oh, I see. It seems you gain points for creating those petrified blocks. That's very interesting. I guess that offsets the fact that you lost a piece in the process, but I can't imagine that losing a piece outright for a pawn is still justified there. So we'll play e6 here. Okay, bishop to... Oh, and I can't... Whoa, that is very advanced. Okay, I can't actually take because it would petrify my queen. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's play queen to d7, right? Because I'd rather not lose my queen. But that's a good tactic to keep in mind. Okay, we get the trade, and now the rook is kind of stuck. Which, oh, no, I didn't mean to play that. Oh, I was just drawing arrows. No, what am I doing? I was just drawing arrows. I didn't mean to play b6. What on earth is that doing? That's doing nothing. What just happened? What? Pawns can move sideways? You've got to be kidding me. I don't even know what to do with this information at all. Let's play this, I guess. I mean, pawns can move sideways? What is this? Oh my god, we're literally both learning as we go. Okay, we'll go ahead and just castle out of the way. That is huge. Okay, now I'm wondering, should I present that in the intro? Because I'd have to refilm the intro, but that's not really a big deal. But it might be funnier if I just put up like a black screen and said, also there's one other rule that I forgot to mention, and we'll see if you guys can find it. That's so funny. That wasn't mentioned in the rules at all. It just mentioned that pieces were petrified, but I guess under the settings I could have been able to find that. Anyways, that's very amusing. Let's go ahead and play check. We can at least get a fair trade and move forward with this game. Pawns can move sideways. It's mind-boggling. Okay, we get c3. We'll go for... Oh, that's not... Okay, I forgot that there's no recapture. Okay, so there's no recapture, so we lost back the piece. Go ahead and take on b5, maybe tempt him into taking. Win the piece back. Give me back my piece, please. Maybe. Or my opponent will just castle. Oh, he does take! Nice! Okay, so we're up a piece again. We'll play... what do I play here? I need to get this rook out, so we'll play a5. If takes, I take back, and then at least my rook has a way to get out of the corner. Okay, rook to c1 seems to just hang the pawn, so I'll take it. I can't actually take this pawn, though, because it would petrify my rook, so I'm still going with this plan of getting the rook out this way. Okay, we do get castles. We'll go ahead and do the little rook lift. Teeniest, tiniest rook lift in the world. And we're still up a piece, so basically Oh, we get the resignation. Sweet. All right, we did win that game. I was going to say basically anything goes. Because we're up material in an endgame, so we pretty much just want to make equal petrified trades and we'll be fine. Okay, so what did we actually learn from that game? We learned that strategy of diving in with the bishop and just threatening anything, but I guess that's true for any piece. You just dive in with the piece and threaten the queen. The queen can't take back because the opponent would lose the queen. The other thing we learned is that pawns can move sideways in this variant, which is, well, like, what do I even do with that information? What are the ramifications of that? You can be careless with your pawns because they can shuffle out of the way anyways. Okay, I'm not really sure what to do with that information, but we've got 2 games under our belt. Let's move on to game number 3. All right, game number 4, we get paired with the 1700. So this guy's been around in this variant. We'll play d5, go for the center. Okay, we get met with d4. We learn that pawns can move sideways, which is amusing, but it doesn't seem to do anything right now, so we'll keep developing normally. Okay, we get a3. Bishop h3 here is actually possible, but the knight could capture, and the bishop stays there just fine. So we'll continue with c6, just try to keep things nice and solid. I'd imagine that the fact that the pawns can move sideways has serious implications for how pawn storms happen, because pawns can like do all this funny business then, and just move however they please. Right, like exactly that right there. Okay, I imagine this idea was this then. Okay. Let's play this. I just don't want this to be a weakness in the future. Okay, I guess this is a weakness now too, but honestly, he can come for it. I'm going to start developing my pieces and see how he actually plans to play this out. Okay, g4. If I move the bishop back, g5. Oh, okay, I see how we're playing this. We'll play it all the way back, so if g5, I can take it for free. Okay, we get knight to f3. Let's play knight to d7, and then e6, bishop d6 completes development. I'm not sure if I'm playing this too much like normal chess. Okay, this is now a threat because I can't actually take that back. So we'll play e6, at least create an escape square for my queen. I guess queen to c8 is also probably sound. We'll play that instead so this bishop can actually develop. Bishop to d6 here is also very interesting. It offers a fair trade, although he gets the points for the petrification. Okay, interesting. Can I castle? It looks like I can castle here just fine. And now I think I can push for the center break, right? Because if e5 takes, I just take back with my other pawn. So it looks like I can play for the center now. Okay. Oh, we can't. Oh my lord. Pawns can't actually capture sideways. Pawns can only move sideways. All right. This is easily the most frustrating variant that I've played. Let's play knight to e4. Okay, pawns can only move sideways, which is very important. Okay. Let's go ahead and start pushing pawns. I mean, pawns are kind of overpowered here. We get this fair trade, which is totally fine. This isn't actually weak, and that's why I say pawns are kind of overpowered, because they're never actually weak against another piece. Let's play, I don't know, let's play c4 here. Okay, we get captures, we'll take back. We finally get a point, which doesn't mean much when we're down 9, but we do have it on the board, I guess. We'll push b5. I'm very confident here that now that it's 3-2 on this side, we should be very, very good on this side of the board. Okay, f5 is amusing because it locks in my bishop, but I'm not sure that it does anything concrete. So a5, we push fourth. Let's see. Play knight to c5. We can get knight to d3 now. We've created this outpost. Well, he's really created it, but I'll give myself credit where I can. Knight to d3. This would just petrify my opponent's knight, so it should be fine. And really, the further I can lean to my opponent's position, the better off I will be. So let's play b4 here. If this capture occurs, I take back. This just leads to a petrification, and then it's my turn, so that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and take. Okay, pawn takes back to avoid the knight petrification. And let's just push. Let's push the pawn, right? Okay, rook gets petrified, which is really interesting. That's a strange decision. We'll push the pawn again. And like I said, I think passed pawns are just very, very overpowered in this variant because it's very difficult to stop them. Okay, he just decides to sacrifice the knight. Are we actually still down material, or are we okay now? Oh, we're up material now. We're actually up a rook. I'm not sure how much that actually translates to in this variant, but it's good to keep in mind. We're actually up material now, which means we could have this check now and trade off the rooks. And I'd love to actually follow up with the queens as well. Okay, cool. We'll petrify the rooks. That's totally fine. I'm down on these points, whatever they actually mean, but I'm up material. The only thing I can't allow is a passed pawn. So in theory, he could just make one by pushing the pawn all the way over and then pushing c6. So it's up to me to find counterplay before that actually finishes happening. Let's play this, and maybe I can get down to the back rank. Maybe bring the rook around this way. Okay, that's exactly what his plan is. I might even end up just sacrificing here for it. But we'll see if that's actually necessary first. Yeah, I don't see any way I'm getting out of this without sacrificing, but we'll start with this, and then we'll just put the rook in front of the pawn. Okay, we do get that petrification, sure. We'll put the rook in front of the square that the pawn will eventually end up on, and let's bring the king over as well. Sure. Pawn comes forward. The only way out for this bishop is back here, right? Oh, but then I lose this control over this square. Let's play this first. Okay, pawn moves over. Oh, if my rook moves over, there's this. Okay, but I'm still up material, right? Maybe that's okay? Yeah. And then this is petrified, so the pawn has no future. Okay, I think we're actually still in the game. We're totally fine here. I just need to focus. No, the pawn can move over. That's right. I forgot. Oh my goodness. This variant is too much for me. What am I going to do? Buy time. Oh, and it seems my opponent claimed the win. Okay, well, he offered a rematch though. Okay, this is game number 5 now, I believe. Game number 5. And with any luck, it'll be my last game because I'm starting to see stars at this point. Okay, we get h6. Let's move the bishop back. Okay, what am I doing? I've already learned that pawns are my greatest ally in this variant, so I need to start playing with my pawns. Exactly as my opponent is doing right now. Let's play knight to d2. Maybe we can play f3, e4. That might be way too aggressive, but it seems reasonable in light of everything that's happened. So let's play that. We get this petrification, which is fair, and we'll push the pawns. The emphasis here has to be on pushing and breaking through with a pawn. If I can do that, I can probably fight for a win. Okay, bishop to g4 will play the knight forward. This petrification is totally fine with me. Cool, that works. And we'll play c4. Push with the pawns. Just lead the way. b4, whatever we have to do to make some space. Go with the pawns. If my opponent takes with the petrification, then I just win material in the process. Okay, bishop comes forward. Now, d5. Just keep pushing. Keep it pushing with the pawns. And eventually we have to get something out of this. Okay, the bishop comes out this way. Let's go ahead and line up the rook. If this trade occurs, it's just another petrification, and I'm actually perfectly happy to have my king surrounded by all of these petrified squares. c4, let's continue pushing, find somewhere for the bishop to develop. Okay, king shuffles over, push the pawn. Yep, we're pushing the pawn. If captures, I recapture, pass pawn. And we already learned that. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be. Okay, b5, we keep pushing. Oh man, I really thought I'd done something there as well. Okay, a6. We'll go ahead and follow that up with a4 so we can recapture with the a pawn. Sweet, that works with me. Okay, and rook to a5 doesn't actually threaten anything. So what if I push? Takes, and then I can't actually be the last one to recapture, which is at least unfortunate. Let's go ahead and play e5 just to say that we got some space. Oh, and he sacrifices the rook for the pawn. That is a very interesting decision. Let's play this. Maybe we can get the rook down here and cause some problems. Okay, a7 stops that. Ha ha ha, very amusing. Let's see. Let's play c6. If this loses a knight to petrification, if this protected pass pawn, which seems like a good thing, seems to be good. Okay, how do we actually use this now? We'll develop the bishop in such a way that it can block the pawn. Okay, a6, and we'll go ahead and castle. Right, this seems very well defended. There's no piece that can dive in, because then it just petrifies another block, and there's no pawns that can create pawn breaks. So actually my king should be perfectly safe over here. You know, minus this check, in which case I just move my king over to h1. Okay, let's push d7. I'm okay with this petrification because it wins me material. Okay, queen to b6 is check. We'll move out of the way, and then I should be totally fine here. Okay, we do get that petrification, sure. And how do I continue to play this? I need to get into the position with my queen. So let's play this. Maybe I can get in through the dark squares, and then I really need a rook lift as such. So that's kind of the general plan that I'm working with here. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition, whether actually anything comes of it. But okay, queen here. Can I offer a queen trade, or is that not in my favor? It's probably not in my favor since I'm trying to attack. So I'll bring the rook over first, see how that pans out, and then I'll decide whether or not I want to trade the queens. Okay, it seems that's not going to be in my favor in any way because this is coming now. I'm up a lot of material though, so I could actually sacrifice this. Since my opponent has done the same, I should be good with that. Okay, rook to h4. Interesting. I'll go ahead and sack this right now, petrify it, and we are still up a bishop. But that bishop is in exchange for 2 pawns, and in this variant, pawns are overpowered. So we'll see what actually comes of that. Okay, offering a queen trade. Very amusing. I'm probably going to turn it down, though. I'd like to keep my queen on the board. Actually, I probably should have played it here to come in this way. I'm not scared of any bishop captures, because that would just petrify whatever piece captures the bishop. And then I still have a rook on the board after, so let's try to come in with the queen and see what we can do. If I can just give check to the king in such a way where the king can't escape, it's automatically winning. Okay, queen to c5 blocks that. I don't think I actually have any other line of sight into the position. So I'll just shuffle back. Let's go back to b3, I guess. Why not? Okay, pawn moves over. Let's go ahead and take. Pawn takes back. This seems like a good opportunity to get into the position. I'm just not really sure how to actually follow up on that. I could petrify this pawn right now. Pawn moves forward. Okay, I'm down to 14 seconds. Let's just play this. I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm doing at this point. Let's just try that. If d5, would I want to petrify my bishop? I mean, my bishop's not really doing that much. Actually, it kind of is. It's looking at the king. So I'm going to move my bishop back. I'm going to argue that my bishop is worth more than these 2 pawns can possibly cause me headaches. And I'm going to move my rook here and threaten the queen. Okay, pawn moves over. That's a good sign. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and petrify. I'll just move my rook back over and try to get check on the king. That's really the only way that I'm going to win this. Worst comes to worst, maybe we can go for like a 3-fold of some kind. I have to be careful with this because there are mating threats. Okay, queen to d4. Let's do this. Trying to get in through this way. Okay, queen back. Don't have a lot of time here to chit-chat. Let's do this. Maybe we can get the queen in this way. Okay, queen to g5. We have this now on the board. Queen comes back. Let's do... let's move back, I guess. Pawn moves forward. Let's line the rook up in front of the pawn in case it needs to be there. Move the queen out of the way. Like I said, pass pawns are just super OP. This is going to be very hard to stop. But we'll do our best. Okay, we'll move the queen back. Sweet, let's dive into the position. Okay, check. Move the queen out of the way. I don't want to trade queens. Maybe I can come in. I'm not really sure. Let's pin the rook. 14 seconds. We're kind of down to a time scramble here. Okay, let's move you out of the way. Don't really want to trade rooks. Okay, let's block. Okay, it seems there's no way for him to move the rook, so I should be okay. Oh, maybe we can try this on for size. Right? Maybe that works. Okay, we'll come in with check. Check. Check again. I'll take a draw. I will take a draw. Nice. Okay. We walk away with a draw by 3-fold repetition, which puts us at a total of 2.5 points. I know I've only made 2.5 out of the 3 points that I aimed for, but I'm completely fried. If you guys did enjoy watching this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below if you really want to see more of this variant. I will commit if you guys really want to see it, and I will see you guys in the next one.